And for more, we're in the company of Kurdish affairs analyst Arya Jemo. Thank you for being with us here on France 24.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's been a tumultuous couple of weeks. First, a showdown in Syria's second city, Aleppo, and now vast swathes of the north and northeast falling under control of the central authority in Damascus. Final point, we just heard it in that report, the United States saying that the SDF's raison d'etre, to a large extent, has now been passed, that it's mission accomplished. Your thoughts on that?
Well, my thought on it, they're saying integration, but they should stop saying integration if it's forced, under threat. We are speaking about the HTS, the one in power in Syria. They've been invading the region of my parents since 2017. We've lost all our homes, our land, we have been killed, the graves, the temples, everything has been erased. We know how those peoples, we know how they work, we know they are Al-Qaeda. HTS is the branch of Al-Qaeda. So we are now being forced to collaborate and to live under Al-Qaeda. But if this was happening 100 kilometers of Paris, we would call it a national emergency. It's happening over there, and we're trying to force the Kurds to accept to live under this regime.
Now, Damascus says there was a deal. It was signed last March. It was an agreement. Why was it never implemented?
It was never implemented because the ideology of the two groups are different. The Kurds have been feminist, have been secular, have been democratic. On the other hand, you have the HTS, and again, we've seen it since 2017 how they operate. They're beheading people, they are stealing people's land, they're killing people. And we're seeing it right now in live. In the past few days, the Kurds have been massacred, and the world is silent. It's like ISIS just disappeared. But them being stronger over there means them being stronger over here. Because they are here, they are in the West, and they will attack the West again.
The SDF, the Kurdish-led SDF, denies a report out of Damascus this Wednesday that they violated the ceasefire with a drone strike on a prison where where forces from Damascus were taking control. Have you heard more about this?
Well, that's the irony of it. We're fighting against HTS, Al-Qaeda, and at some extent also ISIS, because in the live interview in CNN Turk, you can see the Syrian army with ISIS logo. So are they really guarding them? Absolutely not. There is no trust into this group. They probably have different flags, but they have the same ideology. And this ideology, we've seen what they've done in the West, and they're doing it, have been doing it in Syria and in the Middle East for the past 10 years.
The SDF has been working alongside the US military now for years. What's going to be the relationship with the United States going forward?
It's going to be terrible. I mean, it's terrible around the whole globe. We are seeing the US abandoning all their allies, betraying them. How is that even possible? We have lost all the morals, all the values that constitute this world nowadays.
So it's a given that the US is leaving Syria now?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of literally what the American president have shared the private conversation with Emmanuel Macron. They are aligned in Syria, they will probably leave out. Now they secured the Russian influence and Iranian, out of Syria. They're going to explode the petrol of Syria, and they're going to try to make a jihadist land that Turkey, the proxy, will be able to leverage in other international conflicts.
There's going to be a meeting between Donald Trump and Ahmed al-Shara in Davos, perhaps. The two are both there. Is it nonetheless? There are people, we see it, returning to Syria. There is people coming back. The economy is beginning to pick up. Do you have more hope today than you did under Bashar al-Assad?
Well, the two of them are monsters. Let's be clear about that. The thing is, of course, the economy is doing better. The American sanction is lifted out. Europe is going to give 620 million euro up until 2027 to fund these groups. So, of course, the economy is going to do better. And, of course, some Syrians are going back to their country. And this is great. We need a stabilized Syria. But we need a Syria that is democratic, that takes in account all the different parts of Syria, the Kurds, the Alawites that have been massacred, the Druze that have been massacred, and also the Christians have been massacred with different terrorist attacks in Damascus, killing 50 of them in a church. So all of these people, they cannot cohabit. They cannot live together under the HTS in Syria.
One quick final question. What are you expecting from Kurds in neighboring countries, particularly from Iraq, where they have a semi-autonomous status in the north of the country? They've been silent for the most part on all of this in the last week.
Well, they've been silent, that's what we think of, because the media is not covering it. But actually, Kurds around the whole world, let it be the diaspora or the 4 parts of Kurdistan, are actually trying to cross the border by thousands and trying to support. Because this is not a fight against some political group or anything that they're trying to label us, to put a tag, to be like, oh, they're terrorists. Absolutely not. This is about the Kurdish people. This is about the freedom. This is about the values that we're presenting. And right now, the Kurds, they've been saying it, the people on the ground, up to the different commanders, we will fight until death, because this is not a matter of a ground and not getting ground. This is a matter of to be and not to be. The Kurds will fight, the Kurds will defend, and the Kurds will never be erased.
All right, but that's not what we've heard from the government of Iraqi Kurdistan.
They cannot directly intervene. The Iraqi Kurdistan and the Syrian state, they would implicate a lot of things internationally, and we are under the US decision at the end of the day. Shara al-Julani is just a proxy. He's not in control of anything. Whatever the US wants him to do, and whatever the proxy of Turkey wants him to do, he will have to execute.
All right, Arya Jemo, I want to thank you so much for being with us here on France 24.
Thank you so much.